What's up, YouTube? This is Dumas, aka the world's worst magician, and today I'll be bringing you a look at ZENith, or possibly ZENith, by David Stone. If you're not familiar with this, I'll leave a link in the description to where you can check this one out, but essentially what it allows you to do is take a box of cards, throw it at the ceiling, and then leave the spectator's card stuck to the ceiling. So let's get into it. As always, well, actually, what I'll start with is what you get. So you're going to receive the DVD case, you'll receive the DVD itself, the gimmick, and then you'll actually receive 2 additional gimmicks. And you also receive 2 rubber bands just in case you want to do it the way that he does with a rubber band on the box. So that out of the way, let's start with the negatives. For me, it may have just been the items that I received in my packaging, but for the part that actually makes it stick to the ceiling, it worked the very first time that I did it, and then never again. And it didn't work on walls, because he does like card to wall, card to ceiling. My ceiling does have a bit of a texture on it, so I'm not sure if maybe I just have to hit a sweet spot. I am going to test it on some different surfaces, because even my walls have like a slight texture to them, so I don't know, maybe it needs to be on a flat surface. So I'll keep plugging away with this one and see if maybe I can get it to work. But there was a high chance of failure. And the way that you have to throw it is, it's kind of a spin with a throw. And on one occasion, I actually did have the gimmick itself fail during the spin. Like, it didn't even make it to the ceiling. Like, it failed upon throw. But anyway, pretty much that's the biggest negative for me, is that you have a high probability of failure depending on the substance. So with that said, I wanted to show you, because this is a regular box, and I just wanted to show you that I just showed you the gimmick, and it's hard to tell where it is. So to use this, it's more than just a card to ceiling. So if you just use it as that, you might be a little bit disappointed if your results are like mine, but it's a utility of device that allows you to steal cards, basically invisibly. So I believe you can steal 1 or 2. I probably wouldn't go more than that. You might be able to, but I would just go with 2 max. But this allows you to steal cards without having to palm them, which is a pretty good device. So if you use it as a utility, this is just one of the routines. So he also shows you several different routines for card to ceiling, and then you get 13 additional uses where you can do like card to watch, card to balloon, card to mouth, a lot of those different routines. So you have a lot of different applications, but the only thing is all of those applications basically depend on the material working when you go to stick the card. So if that fails, basically all of these routines are going to fail because they are all dependent on that substance. And like I said, my substance just wasn't working. So I'm going to see if I can just find a new substance as well for that, because the routines are solid. The instruction is great. He goes through a lot of routines, goes through them in detail. For some of them, he doesn't talk. I kind of don't like that in a tutorial. It's kind of like a like, I don't know. I feel like I'm watching Charlie Chaplin or something. So I didn't care for that piece, but you know, it is what it is. So the instruction for the most part is good. He goes into a lot of depth. There was an additional piece where you're supposed to be able to send them an email and get more tricks and routines with this. And I tried to send an email to that, and it actually failed. So I don't know if that email is just down or what, but that did not work for me. But you have multiple handlings, questions that you may have. What's the reset like? It's instant. Also, what is the angles? Essentially, you have no angle issues at all. If done properly, you could be completely surrounded. And you, like I said, you could do it with or without the rubber bands. The rubber bands just help kind of sell the whole concept of, hey, this box is sealed. There, you know, I can't get a card out of there. So yeah, I mean, for the most part, if you can get this to work, it's incredible. And like I said, it worked the first time, and I was like, oh wow, that's awesome. And then it never worked again for me. So I'm going to keep plugging away, and I'll put up another review and a demo if I can get this thing to start working properly. But like I said, you're going to receive the original routine, several different handlings of card to ceiling, 13 other routines, 2 gimmicks. So you'll receive 1 gimmick that's already made. Mine came for a blue bicycle deck, but the other 2 you can customize to any deck that you want. And the customization only takes a few seconds to get it done, so it's not a big deal. And you will be able to have 3 boxes that you can work with all the time. So that's basically everything I have to say about it. So yeah, that's been your look at ZENith by David Stone, and see you later. Well, I hope you liked that review. And if you have any questions, magic tricks, or decks that you want to see reviewed, go ahead and leave a comment down below, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. As always, I would greatly appreciate it if you would click that like button and subscribe for any future reviews. All right, see ya.